uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Saying that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports. Talking way too much, world combat sports.
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game. A-side official. No negotiations needed, period. You already know. WCS back in the building. This is Hot Grease Chronicles, EP 507, over. We're going to talk about some things, you know, especially the Teofimo, 3-divisional crown holder now. He was a champion at 135 pounds, unified, lightweight division, champion at 140 pounds. And now he's a champion at 147 pounds. So we're going to talk about what WCS put out there already about friendship in the heat of battle, especially when they're competing under the canopy of combat business. This is a combat sport. Boxing is a business first. And I'm going to compare. Look, I'm going to compare something that I put out there about 2 other fighters that could have did the exact same method of business that Romero and Teofimo Lopez did. They could have made money together, and they refused to do it. All right. So I want to first start off by talking about, I want to get him out the way. Okay. And that's Yo-Yo Hernandez, the Cuban fighter. He went in there against Francisco Verón, right? And there's some people in here that knows Francisco pretty good. If you look on my IG, I put up his picture and basically highlighted Jihad Tucker's fight versus Francisco. How, in my opinion, an Argentinian was sent on a hit for Jihad Tucker at one point in time. It just didn't work out in his favor. You know, I haven't seen anyone, you know, mention that Francisco hasn't been the same fighter since then, but he looked good last night. Jihad Tucker beat him up really good. You know, he came down from 160 to 154 and tried to bully him like he was out on a hitman mission. And he found out that the person that was the target was a bit more difficult than he expected. You know how they go out there and send them out for hits and they don't provide you with all the information? They just say, hey, wait till they get there and then they'll figure it out. That's what happened with Francisco. He came in there trying to knock out Jihad. It didn't work out that way. But last night, what impressed me about Verón after seeing him down here in Atlanta, because in Atlanta, he got beat up pretty good too. And you know, I kept saying to myself, you know, will he be able to recover? He fought Yo-Yo Hernandez at 160. Big Cuban fighter. I haven't really gave him kudos yet to being an up-and-coming fighter to watch out for. He has the size, you know, he has the ability, you know what I'm saying, the basic ability to box. But is he considered to be elite? Do I see him, if he does get a title shot, reigning for a long period of time? I don't know. Because Verón was pressuring him at certain rounds during the fight, and he was landing. Of course, in my opinion, Yo-Yo had the hardest or the heaviest hands. You know what I'm saying? He had more power. But Verón, in a lot of windows in the fight, was able to land shots that kind of kept Yo-Yo off balance. I don't know if he was taking Verón, you know, lightly in certain exchanges, and he felt that he couldn't be hurt. But the activity of Verone kind of played a significant role in keeping Yo-Yo honest in that fight. Real talk. It definitely kept him honest because they're looking at the previous fights that Verone has had, and it's just certain exchanges, man, they shouldn't have got hit. In my opinion, he shouldn't have got hit with those punches. Like, I forgot what round it was, but they was in the middle of the ring. Francisco landed a 2-shot combination, I believe, and Yo-Yo stumbled back. Man, you can say it was entanglement of the feet all you want, but he landed the shot. And that could have resulted in a knockdown if it was somebody else with a little bit more power. But both fighters provided pressure in their windows of opportunity. But who was supposed to perform at a higher level than Francisco was Yo-Yo. You know, Yo-Yo was supposed to go in there and show that he's different than the previous several fighters that stepped in there with Verone. He didn't beat Verone up. He didn't beat him up. Verone looked fairly decent walking up out that fight. So what does that say for Yo-Yo going forward? Hey, it's just like any other fighter they're trying to raise, especially Cuban fighters. Let's just be patient for his next fight. See who they put him in there with. See if they're gonna kind of baby walk him, or send him out there with an actual reputable contender. Somebody that's a 50-50 fight. Is Yo-Yo ready to have a 50-50 fight at this point in the middleweight division? I don't know. I just know Verone gave him fits in certain parts of the fight, and you seen what the score read. All right. So let me so the scores were a majority decision now. And you if you're thinking the way I'm thinking, a majority decision. Even though Francisco Verone is 17-2 and Hernandez is 11-0, he undefeated. You earned a majority decision. Even though at one point in time Verone was a top rank, middleweight division, especially when he came down there and fight Jihad 154. One judge scored at 95-95. Steve Weisfeld scored it a draw. 98-92. David Sutherland. And 99-91 Eric Cheek. So you can kind of switch back and forth, shuffle your thoughts on what score was around, the right assessment from ringside, and was the draw close enough for you to say that was a fair assessment. That was a fair scoring system of that fight. But the majority decision and not a UD and not a unanimous decision, that's kind of shaky. That's kind of shaky. He has to go back to the drawing board, man. Them Cubans, you don't know how old they are, man. Yo-Yo might be 46 years old right now. They come over here with the fake paperwork. You know what I'm saying? We really don't know. Really don't know. But we'll just wait till the next time he get out here and fight. All right. Let me get to this chat, man. Let me get to the chat on deck. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building, man. I see you. What's good with it, bro? I fell asleep during the Gary Antonio fight, man. Shout out to Gary, man, earning that victory. He looked good in there. He looked better than he did when he took his first loss. I ain't gonna lie to you. He looked good. He looked much improved. I gotta give him his props, man. He had the beard going on like he had been living in the gym. Like that loss didn't sit right with him. It looked like he went to, he went on a venture walk, and the venture walk, man, defined itself. He came back looking like a caveman for real. He looked sharp up in there, man. He said, so Gary Antoine Russell had a fight last night. as his brother Gary Russell standing next to him. And Gary Antoine Russell was on the ringside next to their father, Gary Russell Sr. I'm not I'm not gathering what you're saying. I'm not gathering. Shout News in the building. What's good? What's good? Says salute to the chat. Boxing told Jihad Tucker box circles around Yo-Yo. Yeah, man. That would be an interesting fight, especially, you know, the way he performed against Francisco Varone. I mean, Francisco Varone looked very solid in there. Very solid in there against Yo-Yo. I don't know about him thinking he won the fight, but I do believe, based off what I've seen, that he looked solid in there versus a fighter who supposedly went in there and dominated. He did not dominate Francisco. He didn't. He did not dominate, man. And yeah, if Jihad is up on deck, man, if they give him that fight, that'll be a good fight, a rematch of 160. You know what I'm saying? Not so much a rematch right away, but if they get him Yo-Yo, and then I'm pretty sure Francisco will want to run it back just to redeem himself, because he looked real bad. You know what I'm saying? He looked real bad after that fight. But shout out to them, man. Shout out to Electric Boogie. And, you know, shout out to Francisco Varone, man. Pretty much earned the majority decision loss versus a fighter who's supposed to be the next big thing in boxing. He's supposed to be the next big deal in boxing. I don't see it. He reminds me of Billy, but with more patience. You know what I'm saying? He has more patience and more technical skills. He's more polished, in my opinion, because in Billy, he's going to go in here with Canelo, and Canelo going to have his way with him because his style is tailor-made for Canelo. Canelo going to dig to the body because he's a come-forward fighter, and he probably knock him out with a hook to the body uppercut. You know? Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. You're right. I want you all to hear the post fight. Okay? I want y'all to hear some audio from the post fight of Rolly Romero talking. Okay? Giving his feedback on how he believed or how he thought the fight went. Of course, I'm going to give my reaction to it periodically throughout the audio. But listen to this right quick, okay? Just listen to Rolly Romero, who is now the former WBA welterweight champion, who was able to donate his title to his friend Teofimo Lopez, because they say you got to beat the champion, right? But what if the champion is trying to get beat? What if the champion is up here providing donations, title donations? Let's listen to the audio.
My immediate thoughts, I mean, look at my face. I got hit with what? 2 clean shots the whole fight. So, I mean, yeah, if that's enough to beat the champion, that's enough to beat the champion. I've heard him multiple times.
Okay, let's talk about the clean face. He's saying he has no scratches. And I totally get the angle that he's coming from. You know, he's coming from an angle where he was the champion and he barely got hit. But also, let me come from this angle. Everybody know you and T.O. are friends, right? And everybody knows that T.O.'s been cut in fights. But did you see T.O. going to the body a lot? You know, in my opinion, and I'm going to stick to this, there, Rolly Romero, is that Rolly took the orders. You can say what you want. but Rolly had plenty of opportunities. If you take the aggressiveness, if you put his barometer of aggressiveness when he was in there with Ryan Garcia, it's night and day comparable to what happened when he was in there with Teofimo Lopez, bro. He was standing right in the pocket versus Ryan Garcia. When he landed that first double hook, that left hook, one to the body up top, and he dropped Ryan, now that is the Rolly that would have stopped Teofimo Lopez. But no, Rolly Romero wanted to work on his part in the remake of Thriller. You know, he decided to moonwalk majority of the fight. He decided to, you know, show some compassion for his friend Teofimo, who was throwing punches to the body most of the time. And the punches that he threw up top, they was outside the range to be effective. But yes, Rolly landed a shot. Okay, kudos. But you're trying to tell me the Rolly that fought Ryan Garcia, it's the same Rolly he fought his friend Teofimo with the same aggressive, dogmatic, tenacious type of mentality? He wasn't going in there. You talk about no scratches on your face because you wasn't willing to engage and go in there and destroy Teo. His dad should have been over there saying, you need a knockout. Teo's dad, you need a knockout. That's how bad Rolly should have. He could have beat Teo last night because Rolly got some power. Real talk.
I am owed a rematch, for sure owed a rematch. And
didn't I tell y'all this was going to be a two-part? I was talking to my constituent, right? And I was telling him, I said, man, they're going to get a rematch out of this. It's highly possible they're going to get a rematch. Why? Because nothing is going on at 147 pounds. They're not trying, they can't go over there, Ryan Garcia. You know, they're going to make money amongst each other. We see when WCS put it out there, it's almost like they want to brush it off like it's impossible for them to do business. They just did business together, y'all. These two just did business together, not by splitting the ropes and Teo having the opportunity to contend for his title, but making the decision to fight the way he did, him being Rolly Romero, and not putting forth max effort to go in there and destroy Teo and retain his title. You went in there and moved around.
yeah, congratulations to Teofimo.
You hurt Teofimo in that 5th round to the eye. You saw the blood. You pounced on him there. It felt like he came back a little bit in the 6th round and hurt you to the body a little bit.
He's never hurt me at any given moment. He got hurt multiple times throughout the fight.
You heard what Rolly just said? Y'all heard what he said? He said Teo never hurt him at any moment of the fight. Why is that? Because you all were not fighting to take each other's head off. You wasn't fighting to go in there and have a definitive win, a unanimous decision, or something that's completely, close to a draw, a unanimous decision that comes to like, man, we want to see this again in a rematch. It wasn't nothing, no moment in that fight, continuously, round for round, that we said, this is what we figured the fight would be. We thought the fight would be this active. We thought it would be this violent. We didn't see any violence in there. We just saw y'all pretty much wasting away minutes of the fight. Yeah, y'all threw some punches periodically. Teo got caught. He got cut, not the first time. Rolly, talking about no time he hurt him, but if he didn't hurt you and you knew he couldn't hurt you, my question, why didn't you press? Why you didn't close? Why you didn't pressure him more if he didn't hurt you? Because when it came time for Rolly to close distance, I always thought if they threw at least about a 6 or 8 punch set, Teofimo would come out on the bad end of the stick. I just felt Rolly had too much power.
Every time I threw a shot, I landed it. He couldn't land anything clean on me, and it was clear and apparent.
We're going to open it up to media questions for Rolly Romero.
Just 2 questions, Rolly.
Can you skip him? Pick somebody else. I don't want to deal with this dude. He blasphemed.
Stephen Guarino, Cal Art of Sports. Rolly,
So I don't know who that was, but it wasn't me, and that's where it's at right now. You know, I think it's fair for Rolly to say I want to talk to somebody else, because as we seen in the previous era of the GOAT, Bud Crawford, a lot of cats that wasn't media, you know, blast these fighters online, and they take a snapshot of your picture. You know what I'm saying? Literally a mental snapshot. And if you show up to the press or whatever, they're not showing you love. They're not going to allow you to ask a question. You know, hey, I it's fair. All fair. You know what I'm saying? All is fair, bro.
it seemed like the right hand to the body, that was a big part of their strategy, was kind of jab, right hand you to the body. You kind of,
He didn't land any of them. It was blocked with the elbow.
I was going to say, I wasn't sure if that was something that was bothering you. Your side seemed a little red, at least from where we were sitting.
Red where?
Right there.
That's called blood.
I see blood on your leg too.
Yeah.
When you caught him.
I don't see anything red.
No,
So.
I'm saying blood on your leg, probably Teal's blood.
Yeah, no, that's for sure Teal's blood, but I don't see anything red on my side. So don't start that initiative.
But what did he do in there that maybe was unexpected?
Nothing. He didn't land a single shot. You guys could clearly see he didn't land a single shot.
And just last one for me, when you had him hurt, why weren't you able to finish, do you think?
I mean, he found a way to survive, and that's, you know, and then when I had him hurt it was at the end of the round. Every time he threw himself, I landed a hook. And
Quick question. That frame that's up there, did that shot land or not? Do you think that shot landed? It looked like there's some sweat spray, you know, some back spray coming off that shot. Did that shot land? Or is Rolly Romero just being, you know, stubborn about this whole deal? Did it land? You tell me.
And yeah, I mean, every time I threw, I landed a shot.
Raleigh, did you have any regrets over this outcome in regards to anything that you did in the ring?
When somebody else does this, it's a masterclass. When I do it, it's self-explanatory, right?
What do you think, if anything, was swaying the judges to lean to the side of Teofimo?
You know, it's all political.
Can you elaborate?
Okay, so of course they're gonna ask him to elaborate. It's all political. So let me remind you, Rolly Romero, when it comes to politics, you of all people, when it comes to lacing up the gloves, have benefit from boxing politics. Rolly Romero is a good dude. He is. Rolly Romero is a really good dude. But when he fought in Connecticut against Jackson Marinez, who just fought this past weekend, he was stopped. But Jackson Marinez should have had a win over Rolly Romero, who pretty much back then he was fighting like a Walmart robot. And he was he got offered a gifted decision because he was still with Mayweather at the time. Not only that, when he lost to Tank Davis, he automatically, via politics, they didn't cast no ballots. They moved him up to 140 into a championship position. You want to talk about politics? That was a benefit that Rolly Romero was able to digest without no aftertaste. You know what I'm saying? He got gifted a win over Jackson Marinez, knocked out by Tank, and then moved up immediately to 140 into a title position. Come on, man. Come on. Not to mention 147, bro. Not to mention 147. Are we really talking about 147? That's not, I mean, politics shouldn't even come out of Rolly's mouth.
Right. Do I really need to?
Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. You were doing very well in the early part of the fight. Do you believe that you could have
Yo, who is this talking? Is that Bill Cosby talking about some, banana pudding pops? God damn.
Put the pedal to the metal at the end of the fight.
Could you put the pedal to the metal for banana pudding pops? After the fight.
Could have pressed more, of course. Anyone can, but championship fights, they're all close like this, especially with two high-level fighters. But I mean, he was hurt multiple times. One of the shots, honestly should have been counted as a knockdown. But I mean, you know how it is. I mean, he survived. He knows how to survive. But I mean,
Rolly, I'm trying to be easy and not dip you in the hot grease at high temps. But Rolly, you are the only fighter who has benefited from politics there, Rolly. You know what I'm saying? I was going to leave a piece out just for the other people, the hottest chat in the game, to just put in the chat themselves. But let me remind you, Rolly, of what Tony Weeks did for you. Tony Weeks, when you was fighting Barroso and getting manhandled in the ring, Tony Weeks stopped the fight. And you was able to come champion. You remember that, Rolly? If anybody in the sport in this era has benefited more from boxing politics, is Rolando Romero. And guess what happened? He had to pay it back. It was his turn to come from the recipient to the donor. Rolly took the orders, and that's why he was on the back foot majority of the freaking fight. This is not the same Rolly who fought Ryan Garcia with that grit. You know what I'm saying? Stalked him. That's not the same Rolando Romero. That's not, bro.
I hit him so many times clean when I did. And hurt him. I was, some of those rounds were for sure 10-8 rounds.
Was there a rematch clause in your contract?
No, but I mean, of course, I am owed a rematch. You don't get a 114, 114, 115, 113. I get a rematch.
He's owed a rematch. I think he's saying he's owed because he who giveth shall receive it. I think it may potentially be a rematch. Why? Because Teo's in trouble if he faces anybody else at 147 right now with that title. I mean, come on, man. Who is he going to do damage with? At that 147. He's not getting a fight with Devin Haney. He's not getting a fight with Devin Haney right now. It's not. It's impossible. It's not happening. He's not fighting Ryan Garcia. It's not. It's not happening. So for him to rematch Rolly, that makes money. And it's definitely going to make sense.
Liliana for Chicana Boxing and The Good Fight. Rolly, you guys did hug before the 12th round. What was the emotion behind that, if any?
I love Teofimo. I love him. That's all. He's my little brother. That doesn't change anything. He has no control over the scoring of the judges.
He loves Teo. Hey, if we love our brother, even in a business decision, which consists of full contact, in a business which is considered a hurt business, then it's not going to pass us over to say, why not do something nice? Why not be able to do for my brother as my brother has done for me? He talks about how Teo lent him money when he was down and out. They did business, bro. Look, these boxers can do business besides the ones that look like me. And let me remind you how I told you that Errol Spence and Jamel Charlo could have did the exact same business that Rolando Romero and Teofimo Lopez just did. Errol Spence would have moved up, no fights at 154, just like Teo moved up to 147, no fights. The belt changed hands from Rolly Romero to Teofimo Lopez, 3rd division. Errol Spence would have got a 2nd unified division, but this time would have been undisputed. Rematch clause. Jamel Charlo take the belts back. Rolando Romero can take the belt back, however they want to arrange it. They could have made money together. This was a business decision because I believe him when he said he loved Tio and what Tio did for him when he needed money. He was down and out. That's personal. This is business.
Anyone else? Back here, Rolly. Here, Rolly. How close do you feel you were to putting Tio out with that round that you heard of?
No, he was out, but I couldn't get him clean, you know, and he wasn't completely like wobbled out. The other shot I hit him with at the end of the round, though, he was out.
You know, going into the next round, what was your corner telling you, and what were you thinking and trying to do?
Well, I was trying to. Well, one, I was trying to open that cut even more than anything, but I was trying to feint him and land a good left hand.
One last question right here.
Rolly, if you feel like you were hurting him and having success when you were connecting, why weren't you more aggressive down the stretch?
Why don't we ask that to every single box? I literally just picks, moves. You know, I mean, you guys everyone praises that as beautiful, perfect boxing, yada yada yada. But when I do it, why don't I get the same? Why don't I get the same like everybody else, right? Why is it because I'm a power puncher? Why? Because I'm awkward? Because of this? It's like I never get a fair shake, and it's a
Rolly. Rolly, you have been known to get spa days. Forget fair shakes. Rolly has been known to get pedicures. Am I wrong? I just want y'all, those of you who remember, am I wrong though? Manicures, pedicures, mani for the hands, petties for the feet. Rolly has been known to get both in the sport of boxing. Because when he was stumbling on his feet and Tony Weeks came over there and saved his ass, he gave Tony the biggest hug. I mean, not hugging Rolly, but when he hugged Barroso. He should have gave Tony Weeks the biggest hug, man, because he saved that man in one of the most controversial fights that you would ever see in boxing. And it was for a title. And the bad part is that Barroso never recovered to get back into that because he was defeated. An older fighter, no skin in the game, no promotional value. But Romero, you was a part of that. Rolly saying Connecticut didn't exist with Jackson Marinez. You're trying to say 140 didn't exist? I mean, somebody tell me, is he a little soupy from Gervonta's 6-round knockout? Just help me understand how this whole process works for Rolly. Saying he never get a fair shake is just blasphemy, to be honest.
The parent, you know, I clearly outboxed the dude that's supposed to be the best, one of the best boxers, he's an Olympian and all this stuff, you know. I clearly outboxed him. I cut him. I hurt him multiple times. I mean, it's clear as day. I deserve a rematch. And honestly, that decision was, you know, I mean, self-explanatory, man. It's not, you know.
Thank you, Rolly. Thank you for coming up here, answering questions. I know it didn't go your way, but hoping to see you again soon. Any final words from you?
God bless everybody. I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I thank my man right here, Louis DeCuba Jr. If it wasn't for him and Al Heyman, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So
that is right there. You barely hear fighters giving a shout out to the Grand Poobah PBC. But that is right there because they have done Rolly extreme justice when it comes to fair shakes, pat on the backs. You know what I'm saying? Brushing elbows, handshakes, and all those internal agreements they have in the back rooms. They have helped Rolly out in his career tremendously. Shout out to the Oracle Trick Notes in the building. What's good with the Trick? Good to see you in the building, bro. Blue Hustle Man on deck. What it do? He said, what's up? WCS, the fight reminds me of Roy Jones versus Lou DeVal. He and Roy were friends. The beef was real. The beef was real, question mark. Roy cut Lou like Rolly cut Tio, but neither follow up. That could have had the doctor stoppage. Yeah, man. I mean, we know Tio has scar tissue. You know, we seen him cut against Kambosos. We seen him cut versus several fighters. But then when you don't follow up and try to end it, to try to close the show, as they used to say, cliche, close the show, then people look at it like, you know, they just move it around. But in this day, the boxing world, when you see these fans outside the ropes, we're dealing with a different set of fans, man. They don't know the what move around means. I mean, the game has changed when it comes to this. They only let certain boxing media into the gyms. It's changed from when I was in the trenches. You know, you can still go to the gyms, but a lot of these cats are not going to the gym because they want to be home doing live streams and getting super chats. That's just the way it is. But what I'm saying is, if you go to a gym and watch some fighters move around, it kind of, you know, looks like what we seen between Romero and Tio in certain rounds. He could have closed the show with Tio. He had him hurt several times, and he didn't close the show. Romero wasn't trying to go in there and knock out his friend. He just was trying to do enough so the crowd bought it, you know, because the consumers did pay for the ticket. He wanted to sell it to the consumers as if they was truly going in there trying to win, trying to defeat the other. And I wasn't buying it. Especially when I saw the betting odds, I say, man, if that ain't a slap in the face right there. Blue Hustle Man say, what up, WCS, and the hottest chat in the MF and game. You already know, Blue. What's good with you, bro? Shout out to the OG, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. What it do, Bruce? The OG is on deck, man. I don't blame Rolly at all for refusing to answer that guy. I saw a lot of this at Boots versus Xander. YouTubers talk bad about Xander, but then they saw him, they want an interview or a conversation. True words, bro. Like I said, times have changed. Real talk. Times has changed since then. These fighters are being more attentive. Their team is out here paying attention. And also you have a network of snitches. To be a snitch this day and time, y'all, it's not hitting people with the guilt factor. You know what I'm saying? It's not pinching them with the guilt clip. You know, it's not like morally it's messing me up to be a snitch in the YTC. You will have people that'll take a clip of a fighter that they support, right? If they hear somebody else dogging this fighter out, they will clip it, send that link over to somebody who's part of that fighter, and they would drop it in there just like it's Easter. Here go this egg right here. You can open it. It has a lot of treats in there for you. I really switched it up this time and got some, you know, better tasting candy. You know what I'm saying? Just for you to snack on while you're listening to this link I just sent you. So when the fighters come into these presses, they've already did their homework on the media person that's asking these questions or hating on them. So that's probably why Rolly said, I want to talk to this guy. I mean, it's not the first time it happened, but it's happening more now because as we seen with Crawford had to address some of the haters on X that kept on talking ill about him. And then not only then, you know, when the person is finally addressed by the boxer that they supposedly quote on hate so much, now they have to come back and they have to do back then 15 or 20 lives on that same fighter who finally addressed them as if they're the victim. But the good thing about Crawford, he sent the cease and desist to those people who was up here talking crazy and getting personal. Now Rolly is pretty much saying, I don't want to talk to you. I already know who you are. I don't want to talk to you. OG said, Rolly's just not that good. He's not that, he hasn't been that good. His best, the way he shined, in my opinion, one of his best fights was against Ryan Garcia. But like I told people, Ryan took the orders too. I told him before he even came off suspension, Ryan is a golden boy. All right. Regardless of what racist rant he made, Ryan was set to come off suspension and fight in the main event out Times Square. What kind of reward is that? You go basically, first of all, without giving you an extensive heavy overlay, right? He popped dirty. Then he told people all these lies that he was drinking, doing this, that, and the other. Then he gets suspended. While on suspension, he goes on a racist rant about blacks and Muslims. And the Times Square card comes out, and he's the main event. This man is the main event fighting for a title. That is a punishment like no other. If that's the way the kids are being raised, that they can go up here and cross the line and disrespect somebody and then get rewarded for it. And then you hear them say, well, hey, guess what? Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? This man got rewarded a main event fight. And I said this to people, he's going to lose this fight. Ryan is going to lose because he owes the Muslim, them racists coming. He owes them. So you're going to take Ryan Garcia, you're going to take your loss. This is going to be your second loss. You're going to take this L, but it's not going to affect you. We'll look out for you. So what happens after you lose to Rolly Romero? Was an immediate title shot with Mario Barrios or no? I might be wrong. I ain't been in the game that long. Did he get a title shot with Mario Barrios and now he's a champion, legit? Not the interim WBC at lightweight. He's a legitimate champion, right? Okay. Tio had some kids come out for him. I think Rolly should have had third graders come out with him. He read to back in the day. Man, you wrong for that. Oh shit, man, you wrong for that, man. Why can't he just have regular kids that have a high GPA, man, who's very articulate, man, wordsmith, thespians up in here, man? What's wrong with him? You trying to say he talked? You know, the kids he might have read a book to, they didn't perform at the highest level when it came to literacy. Man, that's crazy, man. You need to be a bit more nicer in life, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with Rolly, man. He's just awkward, like he said. He's unorthodox. Rolly's unorthodox, man. Leave that man alone, yo. Dodge J, what's good? Mike, what's good? I heard Tio in talks with Jack Cat. Hey, man, if that is the case, AOG, you know well as I do, in talks don't mean nothing. You know how many fights was in talks and it wasn't even close when it finally, surfaced? It wasn't even close to being the fight that we heard that was in talks. So if that's indeed the case, cool. You know what I'm saying? But we hear in talks all the time and nothing come out of it. You know? Abdullah Mason tried to take off Albert Bell. Yeah. I mean, Abdullah Mason came in there obviously to close the show, and he closed it. You can't even compare Abdullah Mason. Even though they from the same town, they got history. Look, that picture that they showed with Abdullah Mason next to Albert Bell when they was much younger. Now that right there, I can understand them having history together, and being from Ohio, that something like that may have happened in this scenario right here with Teofimo and Rolly Romero. But I think both pairs of fighters, Abdullah Mason, Bell, and Romero Lopez, they both have a personal connection with one another. They respect and care for one another, right? But the way the fight played out, you're right. Abdullah Mason went in there to end the show. Rolly Romero, not so much. He could have very well stopped Teofimo. He could have stopped him. The times that he hurt him, that probably hurt his little heart, man. If you would have took his blood pressure right then in the ring, the doctor probably would have stopped the fight and said, no. No, he's 200 over 34. They're gonna say, no, let's stop the fight. He's having an emotional breakdown right now. He didn't mean to hurt T.O. like that. That's all I'm saying. He didn't mean that. So what's next? I couldn't tell you what's next. But I am going to drop the link in the chat because it's been a while since I did. I don't know who. It's Sunday. Some of you all might be in church. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you might be in church asking, God for some blessings, being that we are past mid-year in 2026. You might be asking him for some blessings to get you where you need to be. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you are in church, make sure you pray for this guy. Okay? Pray for him and pray for those who may be accessible to you that may be in the same condition as he. Okay? AB, like I told you before, every time I met him in person, he's a cool dude. But I really hope he get himself together, else he's going to be in a bad situation. And he provides for a lot of people. But, he's just not where he's supposed to be right now. He's in a bad space. And they're making as much money. Well, he's making money. I can't say they're making money off him. He's getting paid too, Shawty. So he's definitely getting paid too. There's not much I can say about it. But I dropped the link in the chat, man, in case somebody want to come up here and chop it up for a minute. I had a live stream, and look, that is absolutely my culpability. I'll take full responsibility for my absence. I do. But I appreciate the hottest chat in the MF and game pulling up, and dropping by and supporting. I appreciate that. Yeah, for sure. Fortunate and unfortunate. Pray for both. Because the fortunate, pray that they'll help the unfortunate. If it's somebody that's around them, you know what I'm saying? It's good to be blessed, and it's good to provide blessings. Seriously. It's good to do both. But while that's going on, I'm going to speak on what's next for Teofimo Lopez. Like the OG said, Teofimo, Jack Catterall. I don't know if that fight's gonna happen, man. Seriously, I don't know. Jack Catterall might feel some type of way about Teo. Look, he might. I love spinning the web on this because it's business, right? We just seen how the hocus pocus of boxing work in business with Rolly and Lopez. Let's go back to the rectangular, the hypotenuse of boxing. Jack Catterall may still feel some type of way about Josh Taylor because he himself felt that he probably won against Josh Taylor, only to see Teofimo Lopez swoop in and pick up the titles. And Jack Catterall may have said to himself, those supposed to be my titles, not Teofimo Lopez. They should have been my titles. So now Jack Catterall is up in the 147-pound division, and Teofimo Lopez is now champion. He may be holding a vendetta with Teofimo Lopez because he was able to snatch up the titles that Catterall thought should have been his. And he got bamboozled when the scorecards came out. I mean, it was a very close fight, but I'm just saying, he may feel some type of way, y'all. Will the fight happen? I can't tell you, yo. I can't tell you. So when it comes to boxing, at the end of the day, you know, you shout out to Amanda Serrano winning the majority decision. She was in another tough fight. I really hope this is her last fight. She retired. But you know, you can absolutely say she's a GOAT. Amanda Serrano is a GOAT, man. And people can criticize women boxing. I get it. A certain part of women boxing will always be subjected to criticism just based off the opposition. Are they 50-50 fights? I say one of the worst top-ranked female fights in this recent era that I can compare to freaking Romero and Teofimo Lopez is Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, the trilogy. It just didn't live up. All they did was move around. Shout out Blue Hustle in the building. What's good with it, Blue?
What's good with you, my brother? How you doing?
You go to church today, bro?
Negative.
Okay.
I was just not getting ready to go to the house.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering, man, that you go pray for you know, some of these boxing matches to be made, bro. You know, being that we almost at the end of the year.
I heard that.
So what's your input on what you witnessed with T.O.? No,
hold on. Let's talk about the two. Let me get. I just gotta clarify something right now about what you just said about Amanda Serrano. You know what I'm saying? She is not no goddamn GOAT to me, my friend.
Said GOAT, G-O, GOAT.
Nah,
I did not say G-W. Don't put words in my mouth now.
Hey, look. She ain't no motherfucking dude, so it still has to be the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? She's not no Clarissa Shields, and to tell you the truth, girl, or whatever her name was, beat the breakdowns off her, and they gave her the fight because that was allegedly supposed to be her last fight.
That's not new in boxing. She is the name. She is the brand.
Exactly.
So her opponent is going to get that Rolly love. She went in there and did what she was supposed to do. She's very competitive. She's very she's a very good, solid fighter. She's going to get her chance again. She beat up Amanda Serrano for real. She's going to get her chance again like Rolly got his chance.
Okay, yeah, that's wonderful. But let me ask you this. Do you feel like she won?
Who, Amanda Serrano? No.
Yes.
I don't think she won.
Okay. Thank you.
But she's still a GOAT. She's still a GOAT of this era when it comes to women's boxing. How can you have 7 divisions on your freaking breastplate and you not be recognized for those 7 divisions?
Well, I mean, I won't look. I understand she won 7 divisions, right? But at the same token, man, she looked like trash.
She did.
She looked like trash. She lost the fight to me.
We know that happens in women's boxing all the time, man. They look like crap, and people say, "Oh man, don't dog them out like that." That's why they can't get paid the money that the men are getting paid, man. It just looks bad.
Yeah,
some of them.
Well, man, that's diabolical. That's all I wanted to say about that, bro. We have the same interest when it comes to, what.
I mean, how are you gonna fix that, Blue? How are you gonna fix the the hocus pocus of boxing when it comes to business. When you see fights go down like this with Amanda Serrano, looking the way she looked just as bad against Katie Taylor in that trilogy. But
yeah.
hey, she has the halo. She has that halo over her head where she's put in the work, so she's gonna get that favoritism a bit.
Mm. Well, I don't like her having that halo, bro.
She's a Hall of Famer right now, bro.
Yeah, she is. She is. Especially if she's a the contender to be the number one person for the most knockouts. So
That's what she was going for, but she didn't get the knockout.
she didn't.
So I hope she don't come back to the sport just so she can fight somebody that's.
I think that's what she said she's gonna do.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, I think that's
Hey,
what she
man.
said. She got one more. She gonna come back and do another fight to get that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what
Hey,
she
she gonna
said.
end up sipping out of silicone straws when she retires for real. I'm serious, man. She keep on fighting and she ain't gonna be able to talk, man.
Yeah,
For real.
That fight right there, she got, man. I can't believe they even gave it to her like that. I was highly surprised just to see. I thought it would at least be a draw. It wasn't even a draw. They just gave it to her.
Hey,
But the one fight that they gave a draw, yeah, I thought it was gonna be a draw. But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
You know?
I have another for MVP. I have my own little acronym for that.
What's that?
Money, and the V is for what when it comes to women, and the P is for what when it comes to women. That's my goddamn acronym. That's what I see. But let's talk about Yo-Yo, man. What do you think about him and Verone, man?
Man, oh boy, won that fight, bro. It was a draw, right? Wasn't that a draw?
No. It was a
No,
majority.
they gave it to him. Yeah, they gave it to him. Dude won that fight, man. Dude won that fight. That Mexican dude was putting hands. But I will say this though, I'd rather see a draw in that fight, if anything. But they went ahead and gave it to the old boy because he did come back a little bit stronger at the end of the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can understand that. But at the same token, I feel like it should have been a draw because old boy Yo-Yo was getting beat up, man, in the very first one.
Man.
He got hurt. He got hurt. You know what I'm saying? Dude was putting the he was whooping on him, bro. He was whooping on him. I think what it was is it's just too much. Too much, you know what I'm saying? Too much. And he couldn't handle it no more. So
I mean, they
how
have
that goes.
high hopes for his centenary in boxing, though. I mean, for Yo-Yo.
Yeah. No, they do. They do.
He's a Cuban fighter. They got high hopes. Right now, middleweight division is not popping like that. So it's only a matter of time before they put Yo-Yo in there with somebody for a title.
Yeah.
So speaking of titles, let me go over here right quick and check something out for this guy.
Remember I told you they were trying to compare him to Bud. They were saying, he can beat Bud somebody, some goofy motherfucker. I said, hell to the no. And then when I see what happened last night, I'm like, nah, most definitely a no. Oh, shoot. No. You know what I mean? So yeah.
So Yo-Yo Hernandez, he's ranked in the WBO number 1, the WBA. All right. And the older champion over there, the elder statesman, is Erislandy Lara. And I believe Erislandy Lara would beat Yo-Yo right now. I ain't gonna lie, man. And then he's ranked number 2 in the WBC, and Carlos Adames and Jesus Ramos the interim. And let me see, for the WBO, he's ranked number 1.
Yeah, dude flexing and shit like he was a man in that fight. He was getting handled, in my opinion.
Yo-Yo is ranked number 10th in the IBF. So the reason why I say he's gonna get a title because for the WBA and the WBC, he's ranked in the top 5 from what I see.
Yeah.
So he's gonna get a title shot one way or the other. I don't know which route they're gonna take, but the one that's vacant in the IBF, this is the middleweight. That's his lowest ranking right there. He's ranked number 10th.
Yeah.
Even Jahad Tucker is ranked number 4 in the IBF. Oh man, Amari Jones is ranked in that too. That'll be a good little grudge match, man. Now they in middleweight division, Jahad Tucker and Amari Jones. Then you got,
I can see that.
yeah, that'll be a pretty good fight, man. Yo. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, he's up there. He has his rankings.
Yeah.
Tim Tszyu is ranked number 2. The WBO. Tim Tszyu is ranked number 2. So
Tim Tszyu, what it do? Tim Tszyu, what it do?
Yeah, Tim Tszyu is ranked in the 160-pound division now. You know, WBC and the WBO. Yeah, he's ranked. So let me check something out before I even say. Yeah, Tim Tszyu is ranked up there in the 160-pound division now.
Yeah, he shouldn't be, but he is. You know how it is. They pay for that. They pay for their shit.
And who was his last fight?
Tim Tszyu?
Yeah.
Earl Spence, what you mean?
Huh?
Tim Tszyu, Earl Spence, remember?
So look, he beats Errol Spence, and he just leaves. He gets a paycheck, and he just leaves and go at the middleweight division. He just leaves and go up to the middleweight division. Do you think he left because it was too hot down there, or he didn't see himself getting another title shot? Do you think it's better for Tim Tszyu to be at 160 or 154?
It might be easier at 160, but when you think about it, he's got to.
Your phone going in and out, bro. Like I told you about those Walmart quick trip phones, man. Like, dude, put some money away for an emergency fund. Build up a budget. Buy 2 phones, man.
What did you say?
I say your phone keep going in and out like it's robotic. And I would just say,
that's because
stay away
I was leaving my house.
The quick trip phones.
Oh no, I don't have none of those because that ain't my issue ever. That was just
if they give you 2 phones with a purchase of a dozen donuts, the phone is not going to be that good.
Well, I mean, I'm not a candidate of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that life is. To have a handout of donuts and chips and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? With a free phone. It sounds like that's a free phone situation, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff say, I don't see Yo-Yo fighting Laura. Too much respect for him. Well, hey,
I can see that fight.
I can see it too. We got a lot of fighters, right?
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
know he's taking the angle of Cuban fighters. I get it. But Laura is so established in boxing to the point, if Laura wanted to pass the torch down to his Cuban stablemate, his Cuban countrymen, it would be okay for Laura to do that because he's already established. He should be on his way out the sport. So if they want to fight, they should fight. Everybody else doing it. Rolly and Tio just did it. Rolly may not be from Honduras, but hey, they good friends, yo. They really good friends. It's time for freaking Laura to hit the road, Jack.
Well, man. Look, you know what? The situation for Rolly, man, that man is very deluded.
You said what? You breaking up real bad, bro. I can't hear words you're saying.
I said he's delusional. You hear
About
me now,
what?
right?
Yeah.
I said that Rolly's delusional
About what? Not
because
getting
how he
hit in
was
the
feeling,
body?
how he was acting. Yeah, he said he didn't get hit at all, except a couple times.
I mean, his face
He said,
was unmarked though.
yeah, but he didn't go for his face. That's why he only went for his face a couple times,
Exactly.
and he did that on
I had to
purpose.
tell
He
people
did that on
that
purpose.
T.O. was going to the body for a reason. You know, hey, look, that's the same thing. Abdullah Mason, since you know he was in conversation earlier. Abdullah Mason for the first half of the fight wasn't going up top to Albert Bell's face. Not until the second half of the fight, man. He cut the man. You know, he was trying to play nice, yo. Shout out to 269 in the building. He say T.O. needs to retire. I don't think T.O. needs to retire. I truly believe T.O. is going to if I think he's gonna make another nice fight, a paycheck at 147. I don't know if it's gonna be with Rolly or not. I don't know if the fans will buy into it's a grudge match type of shit because Rolly, like you said, Blue, he said I love T.O. So he got love for him as a friend, you know.
Yeah, but that's not the reason why he lost. He lost because he cannot beat him. And, you know, it's in the sparring. You know, when he spars, it's only evident that you can tell that both fighters were pretty much holding back because they understood each other's position. You see what I'm saying? They sparred each other enough to where they were aware of the situations. Because you could tell that Rolly was throwing while T.O. was throwing, which was good. You see what I'm saying? And he was holding his ground, staying stationary at the beginning, but he should have did that for the whole fight instead of backpedaling and trying to box. That was the wrong thing. You know what I mean? For him to come out and try to do because you can't outbox. There's levels to the game, and it was super because there's no way that he was supposed to be able to come out there and outbox T.O. You know, I was surprised, but I still had T.O. winning. I told you that. You know I said that. And the reason why I said that T.O. would win is because he'd be on the back foot, but he was on the front foot. You see what I'm saying? And he was trying to imitate. I won't say he was trying to imitate, but you could tell that he learned from the Shakur fight because he was in the same position of being on the front foot, but he couldn't capitalize the way that Shakur did. So,
you say what again, Blue? You're doing a juxtapose. You're juxtaposing an analogy, saying pretty much what T.O. learned from Shakur to use versus Rolly.
yeah, he used that because he was on his front foot, like Shakur was on his front foot, and then he went to the
But
body and he kept going to his arm.
Why would T.O. have to use? Why would T.O. have to fight that way off a loss with Shakur Stevenson when Rolly Romero doesn't present the same style Shakur Stevenson has?
Well, usually
they don't fight the same.
Rolly's on the exactly. Well, you know, he's good on the back foot, but in this fight he chose to be on the front foot. You see what I'm saying?
mean,
and
T.O. was on the back foot
roles were
against Santa
reversed.
Martin, though.
Yeah,
T.O.
but
was
he
on the
wasn't
back
on the
foot
back
against
foot.
Santa Martin.
He was on the front foot. He was on the front foot. And he was trying to do first too. And he was making sure he kept that hand up. Sometimes he would bring it down and get caught. When he brought it down, you know, being lazy, going back to his old ways, he was getting caught.
T.O. was on the back foot against Jermaine Ortiz.
Yeah, but that's irrelevant. This is the first fight. We're talking about the first fight that
I understand. I hear you. But the only thing I'm saying is when you talk about T.O. fighting the way he did on the front foot against Rolly could have very well fought instead of sweeping the back, sweeping the ropes, and just using his lateral movement for no damn reason. I mean, was he actually scared that T.O. was gonna hurt him?
No, it wasn't that he was scared. It wasn't that he was scared. What it was is he knew that Tio would counter him. So that's why he was holding his, he had his hands in his pocket. And Tio came out there on the front foot.
Who
He
you think
assumed
has
that
more
Tio would
power,
come
him or
to
Ryan
him.
Garcia? Who you think has more power, Ryan
Ooh, Tio
Garcia
between
or Rolly Romero?
Tio? Oh well,
I mean, Ryan
it's Rolly.
Garcia or Tio? Ryan Garcia,
That's
Tio.
right.
My fault. Huh?
Right.
So it's Ryan Garcia. So you trying to tell me Rolly Romero would stay in front of Ryan Garcia? He has no problem standing in front of
What'd
Ryan
you say?
Garcia, the faster fighter, and he possesses more power than Tio, in my opinion. He selected to stay in front of
But
Ryan Garcia with the
you
same
remember
chin.
Tio said that he beat it. You remember Tio said, you remember Rolly said that he beat up, Ryan in,
Bro,
in
we
sparring.
can't keep
He
going
had
back to
confidence.
sparring. Come on, Blue, you tripping, bro? You
Listen,
tripping,
but
man.
it's not
You
me
tripping.
tripping. You gotta
I know your
listen. I
family, man. I'm
respect
gonna
the
take
fact
it
that
easy
these
on you.
fighters.
This is a hot grease club, bro.
You
Taking it
cut it
easy
out,
because your
man. Cut it
family in
out.
the club,
You gotta
bro.
respect the fact that these
You
fighters.
know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. You gotta respect the fact that these fighters know each other sometimes, and they have history. And it's proven that they had history. He had history with Ryan, and he had history with Tio. And you see the results of the fight. It was two different fights. Did you
So
expect
you're
him to
trying
come
to
out there
tell
and be
me,
on his back foot?
Blue, you're trying to tell me that years go by, and just because I knew you in '98, right? And we're business partners. You're still going to be selling the same product 10 years later? Like, it's not going to be no change. Why do people continue to say these fighters know each other and they haven't sparred or anything? You're talking about a couple of sparring sessions that they had. It's no room for change. You think they ain't gonna switch it up? What's
Yeah,
the point of
yes,
a
there's
fight
room for
then?
change. Well, okay, of course there's room for change, but it didn't matter. They still understood each other. They still had the history to where they understood each other. Just like Tio said in the fight, he was telling Rolly, like, hey, Rolly, man, you ain't gonna work that because he was hearing what he was saying. He said he was hearing. So he was telling him in the fight, you ain't gonna be able to do that. You know this. He's talking to him. They talking to each other. You see what I'm saying? In the fight. They understood each other. You look, he didn't
You
do that
believe
when
that?
it came to Ryan, right?
But him and Ryan
They,
has history too. They have a sparring session that was way more physical.
who, Rolly and Ryan?
Yeah, Rolly and Ryan, they had a very physical sparring, but that doesn't mean it's no change. Like, did we see how Ryan fought against Jackson Marinez? It was robotic. You see what was going on with Moroso, the Moroso fight when Tony Weeks stopped the fight when Rolly was stumbling all over the place. I mean, I don't agree with they knew each other, and so they got in the ring
Understandable.
and they was afraid to exchange because they known each other from a sparring session.
Yeah, I mean, look, I respect the fact that that's your take, right? And you allowed to have it, to feel like that. Just like I'm allowed to, to have my opinion, no matter what. It's just the way I look at it is that, it showed that they respect each other to a certain extent to where they was going off a script with each other because they were used to fighting a certain kind of way. You see what I'm saying? Now they knew there would be change amongst both fighters. They both knew each other changed a little bit. But when it comes down to it, when you're getting into a intense sparring match, you end up showing your true colors to each other. You see what I'm saying?
So I can't accept that, my brother.
I know you
I can't
can't,
accept.
man, but that's just
Look,
that's my
the
opinion,
only
and
reason,
I'm
Blue, I
saying it.
can't accept that analogy is because Tio is coming off a fight with one of your favorite,
And he learned from that
favorite.
fight. Remember, he
Look,
learned from that fight.
regardless of what he learned for Shakur, he went the distance, bro. Shakur didn't go in there and knock him out. Shakur fought the way Shakur fights. And Rolly is no Shakur Stevenson, man. So how is an analogy even in the conversation that Tio learned from Shakur Stevenson to come in here and fight a fighter like Rolly Romero that doesn't even fight like Shakur? He was sweeping the back. Yeah, Shakur fight off the rope sometime, but he ain't sweeping. He just ain't just using lateral movement, just doing a
Okay,
Jamel
so hold on.
Charlo. Look, a Jamel
Please don't
Charlo
make it
versus
seem.
Canelo Alvarez.
WCS, don't make it seem like I'm saying that he learned that he could copy and mimic him. He can't mimic him. He tried to do the best he could to imitate him, and that's just what it was. And not even imitate him. He did the best he could to learn from him and implement that in his game. That's what I'm saying.
I can't believe you
That's
saying
exactly what I'm
Rolly
saying.
was somewhat frightened or timid
No, I didn't say
about
no.
engaging
I didn't say
Shakur.
frightened.
I mean, engaging
No.
T.O. in the pocket. That's
Yeah, I ain't
crazy. He
saying.
hurt T.O.
Yeah,
every
I'm not
time he did it.
saying. Nah, not true. Not true.
He hurt
Not true.
T.O. He hurt T.O.
Two
more than T.O.
times.
hurt him, bro.
He hurt him 2
Yeah,
times. That's
he
what
hurt
he
him
is.
at the bell, and he hurt him
Yeah,
before that.
yeah. But no matter what, that fight, bro, you have to understand that's just what it was, bro. Even like, look, I'm watching the fight,
Oh,
right?
so you
I'm
told me it
seeing
was an opinion earlier, but now you want me to treat it as a fact.
no. I want you if you value what you're saying, it doesn't matter what I'm saying. You know that. You know that.
I'm just puzzled a bit, man, befuddled that you would think that Shakur taught T.O. something for him to use against Rolly, and I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it did happen.
He was
unfortunately.
swinging to the body. People can clearly see that they was on a friendship type of freaking match last night, man. They was just contending as friends, man.
Nah, man.
Why would he keep going to the body, bro? Just like freaking Abdullah did the bell. Man, he was just going to the body. He didn't want to go up top, man. And
Because
then,
they sparred before, and it was easier to go at the body versus the head because all the head movement and the movement that he was doing. The body is the last thing to move, to move out the way when it comes to getting out the way.
I'm glad you say
Especially
that.
if you do it, especially if you're using a lot of head movement, and you can
I'm
see
glad
clearly.
you say that. I'm glad you said that because I wish Tank would have had a freaking camera on his head when he knocked Rolly out in the 6th round. I want to see how Rolly head moved before Tank landed the punch. You know what I'm saying? Because his head was right there when Tank hit him. I don't care if people say Tank had his eyes closed and he didn't really see or whatever. You can say the same thing against Leo Santa Cruz when he knocked him out. But yo, come on, man. Rolly don't have head movement like that for T.O. to say, I need to go to the body. He ain't slippery like that. Dude was doing a Deontay Wilder. He was putting his hands up and moving side to side, sweeping the outside, bro. Just getting away from punches. That's what he was doing.
Yeah, man. Cool. I don't know, bro.
I don't know if you actually watched the fight, dog. I don't know, bro. I expect more from you when you come over here, but it seems like you're up here being a social worker for freaking Teofimo Lopez, dog.
Get off the gas with that bullshit.
I'm just saying. You feel like it seems like you're doing volunteer work on a Sunday, bro.
No, what I'm doing
For
is
real.
just being honest with the situation. Put your shoes on.
You may not be focused
You know?
because you with the fam. I get it, man. You ain't focused. You ain't totally locked in because you with the fam, man.
Yeah.
But hey, it is what it is, man. They want to rematch because that's doing business. That's what doing business is. They want a rematch. They want to do business for a rematch, bro.
I don't know, bro. I look at it like this. That the man, the man had his fight, and I look at it like, you know what I'm saying? They fought it, they knew each other, and he didn't want to be countered. That's another situation too. He didn't want to be countered, and he didn't like the fact that Tio was going to the body. Because Rolly is susceptible to the body. He said that he admitted that to himself.
Susceptible to the body.
Yep. And that's why Tio kept going to the body. He said it himself. He said, man, I heard him when we sparred to the body. He said, then when I was hitting him, I can hear him saying, ugh. You can only go off what these fighters are saying. You know what I mean?
And we can also assess a lie when we hear it.
Yeah,
In
just
my
like when
opinion,
Broly
Blue.
was saying. So hold on. So what Broly was saying, do you believe it? Because you
What?
really making
What
it
Roller
seem
was
like
saying about what? When he said he
in the
loved
post
Tio?
fight. Nah. You know I'm talking about more than just that.
What?
What?
What are you saying?
So how do
He
you
didn't get
feel? How
he
do
didn't
you
get hit
feel?
to the body. He did get hit.
Nah. You ain't gonna do that. You
He
ain't gonna
did
do
get
that.
hit to the
How do you
body.
feel? Did you believe him when he said he didn't get hit at all?
No, I didn't believe him.
Okay. Did you believe him when he said basically I was hitting him every time I threw a punch? I hit him.
I mean, that's just being over the top.
I'm just
You
asking you
know,
a question. Did you believe him?
no, I didn't believe.
Okay.
But I did
So who was
believe
more
he
believable
landed
when they
more
were saying what
shots.
they were saying? But hold on. Who was more believable when they were talking their talk? Was it Tio or was it Rolling when they were just in the post fight? Who was more believable? Who was more genuine?
I think Roller was genuine.
Oh my! All right, man. You
Hey,
know it,
look,
man.
I'm talking about one. I'm talking about
Nah.
one
You
part when he
getting
said he loved Tio. That's
you
it.
on your
That was
bullshit.
genuine
You on your
part.
shit. You on
Look,
your bullshit, bro.
everything branches off. No, Blue, listen to me. Everything branches off from when he said he loved Tio. Why? Because that was a friendly freaking move around session for them.
Nah,
Yeah.
he was using that as an excuse.
Tio, no, hold up. Tio did land a punch. I mean, Rolly did land a punch on Tio. Tio has scar tissue on his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But bro, I believe it was times in there where Tio could have taken advantage of a situation by headhunting early in the fight if he had the opportunity. If it presented itself, why he didn't take it? As a Rolly Romero, it seemed like he had a little bit more mustard on his punches. And when he did hit Tio felt it. Why he didn't extend that and continue the pressure, I don't know.
I told you why. Because the simple fact is, I told you why. I told you
Man,
why.
he wasn't scared of no
Um,
freaking T.O., bro. If you ain't
I
scared of
didn't
Ryan
say he was
Garcia,
scared. You have to stop
you ain't
saying that.
scared of no
It's
T.O.,
not
bro.
about being scared.
What it's about then?
Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, it's not about being scared. I told you they knew each other. They were familiar with each other, and that's the reason why they fought the way they fought. They both they both were holding punches back when they could have just exploited each other, but they knew each other. That's why they didn't take a chance. They both
Ain't that
did
what I
that.
said a long time ago before the fight? Ain't that when we was on the phone? I was telling you that this is gonna be a fight where he gives up the belt. Didn't I tell you that?
I mean,
Where
yeah, that's
Rolly
fine.
gives up the belt to T.O.?
Uh-huh.
I told you that. I said that is going to happen. T.O. helped that man out when he was down on his luck. You know what I'm saying? They've been friends for a while. You know, he helped. He said he didn't have no money or nothing. T.O. just automatically called him out of the blue, and he ended up giving the man $5,000 that really helped him out. It was time to return the favor, bro. Not just that, but from the freaking Tony Weeks, from the freaking, Al Heyman moving him through divisions the way he did, from him getting stopped by Tank, going up to 140, getting a title shot, then going up to 147, getting a title shot. Now it's time to return the favor.
Well, bro, listen, man. You can say what you saying, but you seem like you hating on Tio, man, for what he did, bro. What's going on with this? You have some built up. You have some hidden hate with Tio right now, because it sounds like you support your team, Rolly, right now.
First of all, Rolly never been my team. I was Team Tio. I was Team Tio before any
Well,
one
I
of
don't
these
like.
fighters, really. Like
I don't like how you.
Deontay was my favorite, but I supported Tio back then before any of these
Huh?
cats was even out there. You know what I'm saying? I have no reason to sit up here and be Team Tio just because he apologized for the comments that he made against black people and everybody else. No. All I'm saying
Yeah.
is I respect the fact that they did business together. You know? What's going on, Samar? How
Yeah.
you feel, bro?
Well, I mean, you know what, bro? I'm with all that, right? But the whole point, man, is this. Rolly got his motherfucking ass beat. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a close fight. It was an 8-4. How many rounds do you feel like you won? I'm saying at least 8-4.
Okay, I'm
What
not
do you
mad at 8-4. I'm not mad at 8-4. But to say
what
he
you
got
think?
his ass beat or
Well,
someone
he didn't get his ass
allowed
beat. Listen, he
the
didn't get
fight
his
to go
ass beat,
12 rounds with
but he
minimal
lost.
punishment. He
He
lost. He
got
did.
handled. Yeah, he got
No,
handled.
he ain't get handled. He ain't get
He
handled.
did get handled
Nigga.
because he
Stop,
can't
stop,
listen. The man
stop
was
playing.
running, bro. Nah,
His
nah.
corner, his
Let
cut
me ask you
man,
this. That
his
nigga
cut
was
man had the
listen.
easiest night of the damn
No,
fight.
I don't care about the cut man. That man was running. He's a runner. He's a track star. Was he
Hey,
not
what's
running in
going
that
on with you,
fight
Samad? What's
excessively?
going on with you, bro? Samad, can you hear me? You can't hear me?
Look, is he a runner or a track star? Was he a runner or a track star in this fight?
Rolly? Hey, hold on for a
Yes.
second, bro. Hold on for a second, bro.
Yep. What up, everybody? I hope y'all enjoying the show. You know, let's go. Having some good content right now, good discussions, good debate. But you know, your boy WCS, he on his boo boo right now. He on his boo boo. He on his boo boo. Uh, he on his boo boo.
Yeah. I mean, we're
Yeah,
gonna have
what's up,
difference of
bro?
opinion. You know what I'm saying? I ain't sweating it. We're gonna have difference of opinion.
Hey, you like how I had to narrate a little bit, you know what I'm saying, why you stepped away.
No, I was right here, goddamn it. I was listening to the bullshit. I should have muted
Peace and
your
blessings,
ass.
WCS and Blue. What's going on with y'all?
Hey, what's going
What's
on,
good
Samar?
with
How
you,
you
bud?
feeling, bro?
What's good with
Man,
you,
at work,
fam?
just trying to kill a little bit of time.
That's what's
What
up.
you mean? You in church? You stepped out when the offering was being passed?
No, I said I'm at work. I'm at work.
Oh, okay. I thought you
I'm at
stepped out
work.
when they passed the tray around for the third time or
Nah,
something.
not at all. Not at all.
Hey, what's your take, big dog? You know, how you been?
Look, man, I've been chilling, man. You know, what I mean, just trying to raise the family. You know how I go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen. The fight was what it was. I seen a lot of each other not trying to hurt one another type of deal. But then when
Mm-hmm.
one of them got hurt, when Tio got hurt, I didn't see Rolly capitalize on it. I
Nope.
just, it was what I thought it was going to be, But the question that I have for you guys is this: Does since Tio now is a 3 division champion and almost undisputed, almost undisputed at lightweight, does this make him a Hall of Famer?
You want to go first, Blue, or what? Because I don't want to act like I'm dominating the panel on anything.
All right, go ahead, fam. I'll go afterwards. I didn't even hear the question, to tell you too much. I was
That's
listening to
why
my family.
he been getting cooked all morning. I can understand why he's a
He
little disorientated. But
he
Man, I ain't been
disoriented.
cooked,
the
man. You
answer,
been cooking yourself.
hey,
You
the
been
Hey,
getting
Blue.
cooked
answer,
yourself, bro. You
that's
been
what
on your
hey,
boo boo.
I'm just
Hey, Blue.
saying.
Here's the question, right?
Yeah. Oh, he must have a bad reception.
Hey man, you might want to take an aspirin or
Hey,
something, bro.
hey.
You hear that Rolly jumping completely out of range and unable to counter the lunging falling in Tio. You know, man, that man was doing some incredibly unorthodox, bad habits in the ring, bro.
Well, look, man, you ain't gonna stop. You gonna stop disrespecting Tio, man. He's the reason why. He is the reason why Rolly is in the position right now, upset and wanting a rematch.
No, he should. He should give Rolly a rematch. You know what I'm
Nah, he
saying?
shouldn't. No, he shouldn't. You know
Give
what? I
unto
don't care if
others
he
who
gives a
have
rematch.
given unto you.
Yeah. I won't.
Give
I
unto
won't say
others
that.
as others have given unto you. Hey,
Yeah, he
he
gave him the
gave Tio
opportunity
a
for the
belt,
belt.
and
Yeah,
Tio should
exactly,
give it
exactly.
back.
Yep, for real, for real. That's that. I agree. You know, I'm not no hater, so I'm not gonna sit there and say he don't deserve to. And when I think about it, you know, at first I was kind of like, yeah, that's what it is, because the only reason why is because he said he wants to go for undisputed. But when I think about it, it really wants that rematch. Give it to him. You know what I'm saying? Give it to him, man. But you
What I
want to know
see.
something though? You
Let
need to
me
start
get
being
this
able to
right
do the
quick.
same thing.
Hey, let me say this right quick. 80 Walter 86. I'm not really a Rolly fan at all like that. I was just making the point. About Tio. Anybody who know me, I was covering Tio heavy back then before he even really got established and fought Richard Comey or Masayoshi Nakatani. You
My
know,
fault, WCS. I'm at work, man. This service in here is crazy. I'm sorry.
yeah. But
No, what was your
did Blue
question?
answer your question?
Oh yeah,
No,
my
he didn't.
question is
I didn't hear him.
here's my question, right?
Yes.
Since T.O. is a three-time the three division world champion and a almost undisputed champion, right? Does that make him a Hall of Famer now?
No. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say yeah. I'm gonna say he's a
I'm
Hall of
just about
Famer
to say,
regardless.
I about the damn.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of
Absolutely a
Famer,
Hall of
man.
Famer. He got
Yeah, he's a
Lomachenko on
Hall of
his
Famer,
record.
bro. Yeah, he's a Hall
You
of
know what I'm
Famer,
saying?
bro.
He got a Cambosis who lost to Devin Haney on his record. He got a Josh Taylor on his record. You know what I'm saying? He been 2 division lineal champion.
Mm-hmm.
You could say he was undisputed at 135 in the franchise belt era as short as it was around. You know, I mean, Mauricio Suleiman the one brought that into play. But for him to be a 3 division world champion now, he's not done, in my opinion. So yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer. It might be second ballot, third ballot, whatever. Up the road, I think he's a Hall of Famer, bro.
Yeah, I would agree that, but I'm just asking because I keep hearing these arguments of, you know, with and I hate to bring the name up, Devin Haney and Shakur. They, you know, argument is, are they first ballot Hall of Famers or not? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm thinking of the resume of T.O. I'm not arguing whether he's the first ballot, but I do think that he's in the Hall of Fame conversation at this point in time.
Okay. You said
Yeah, I mean,
Shakur? You said Shakur?
what?
Samad, you said Shakur? Oh.
Yeah, Shakur. Yeah, with
Oh, okay.
Shakur and Devin Haney. Come on, you want to come outside?
What you think about that, Blue?
He said he's a Hall of Famer
Come here,
now?
Michael.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
What about Devin Haney? You think Devin Haney a Hall of Famer right now?
Yeah. He's a contender. Yeah,
Definitely
he's in the Hall of
he
Fame.
is.
Yeah. Mhm.
Devin, Shakur,
Come up here.
T.O., they Hall of Famers, man. I'm not sure first ballot, but yeah, they Hall of Famers, in my opinion. They got
Shakur's first
they have
ballot,
common
though. Shakur's
opponents.
first ballot.
I think Devin could be considered first ballot since he was undisputed. Now, if he somehow gets
Now, he
undisputed at
was gifted
welterweight,
that belt to become undisputed. You see what I'm saying?
You what
yeah,
now?
but they don't care about that. That's yesteryear that they cared
But
about that. There's a bunch of fighters that's
exactly.
gifted belts.
Exactly. And also, you have to understand when you say gifted a belt, Lomachenko decided to petition for the franchise. But what Devin did was go to Australia, win the undisputed, and defend the undisputed in Australia, and defend against Lomachenko, the same fighter who Tio took the belts from when he was
Yeah, we
second on the
talking about
pound for pound
Cambosis, though.
list.
Let that go, man. We talking about
No,
Cambosis, man.
I'm talking about common opponents. Common opponents. Cambosis beat Tio to get the belts, and Devin took them and defended them against Lomachenko, a fighter who Tio beat when he was second on the pound for pound. So he gonna be a Hall of Famer, bro. Tio.
Yeah, but Tio was under the weather, bro. We all know that he was fighting with his going
Man, if
fighting
you don't,
life and death with that fight.
man, if you don't
There's a
stop,
Yeah,
built-in
I don't know
excuse for
what's
Tio when it comes to that fight,
hey
though.
Blue,
You can't just say that's a straight up fight.
you know what? I remember hearing that argument back in the day when Bernard first lost to Roy. Oh, he was this, he was that. You know what I'm saying? I remember hearing the argument when Mike Tyson lost to Evander Holyfield. Oh, Mike didn't train. When Buster Douglas knocked him out in Japan. Oh, Mike didn't train. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these arguments, those are just for us outside, fans, to have those type of conversations. They shouldn't be in the mix of the Hall of Fame argument. Accolades are accolades. You know what I'm saying? you could say, you could say,
Yeah, I'm not
well,
knocking his accolades. I'm just saying I just don't hold him as first ballot. That's all I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
He's
that's
still
neither
that's
that to
all I'm
me. I
saying.
don't.
I'm not
I'm
knocking
not
him.
whether he first ballot or not. I mean, Hall of Fame is Hall of Fame. It's
Yeah,
whether he gets
exactly.
in. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like if we gonna hold against people with getting gifted belts, you got Abdullah Mason got gifted a belt. You got even Tank got gifted the belt because he didn't beat nobody for that belt. You got what I mean. You got a bunch of people. You got Rolly gifted a belt. You know what I'm saying? Ennis gifted belts. You know what I'm saying? They gifting belts at middleweight just because there ain't no fighters there. They just gifting people with belts. Everybody in this 168 division all gifted belts. They didn't fight nobody. They didn't beat Bud Crawford. He dropped the belts, but they gifted them cats those belts. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
is Buster Douglas a Hall of Famer?
It's that's he should be considered.
Is he a Hall of Famer right now though?
I don't know.
I think he should be
I don't know.
considered. He pulled off an upset.
Correct.
Yeah, but just because he pulled off one,
One of the best upsets in boxing history.
that makes
Yeah.
you a Hall of Famer? Man, get off the
I'm
game.
just saying,
At
according to
that
those
time,
who are voting,
and he beat some and his resume ain't shabby. He beat some quality opponents, but he pulled off the upset. The upset. He's the first person to beat Mike Tyson, period.
yeah, and people can say what they want, but hey, that man was a 14-1 underdog,
Yeah.
and he had one of the biggest upsets in boxing history. I think
To your
it was a
point,
good point
WCS,
made,
that's
though.
Tarver the same thing.
Yeah,
Tarver lost to everybody else. Roy was the only, you know what I'm saying? He lost to everybody else of note.
yeah, and people just think they fought twice. They actually fought 3 times.
3 times. Yeah.
So I mean that was a good question. I mean, it just comes down to like people giving their own opinion. Like, who is voting the Hall of Fame?
Right.
Timothy Bradley. Do you think he should get in just based off of Pacquiao, or you think he did more than that?
He did more than that, in my opinion. I seen him.
Yeah,
He beat Junior Whitaker. He beat
yeah.
he you know what I mean? He beat what's his name from St. Louis. Not St. Louis, Ohio. Spink, not Spink. He didn't beat Spinks. Damn, I can see the guy's face, man. That's a senior moment. I hate to claim it, but that's what it is. I can
He
see his
said a
face.
senior moment. Damn, dog.
Yeah, I'm 52 WCS. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm older than you, dog. I know what you're saying. Hey, you dressed that up, a senior moment. I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
use
he
that,
beat some
man. That's a
quality. He beat
senior
man.
moment
He
right
beat
there.
Marquez. He beat Marquez, who was a Hall of Famer. He beat Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So yeah, he should be a Hall of Fame. I thought.
I mean, it just
The
comes
question
down
is, should
to
AB be a Hall of Famer?
yeah, he should. Even though you look at him moving up past 140 to 47 to pick up a title, and then dropping back to 40 to win another title. Khabib, Nurmagomedov, the fighter that he fought, I think at 140. I mean, nobody know who this dude is, but that's boxing sometime, bro. That's just boxing. You think AB a Hall of Famer?
I think, in my opinion, he should be 4 division champion, world champion. He went up to try to be great, and Sean Porter checked him. You know what I mean? So you know how that
Yeah.
goes. When
Dominating.
Listen, but whatchamacallit ruined him though. You know what I mean? He ain't been the
You
same
think
person.
Maidana ruined him?
Maidana ruined him.
Hey, look, I think that's the best fight of Adrian's career because he tried to lock in as much as possible.
Listen, from what I had, what I heard, and I shouldn't say it's reliable, but what I heard, because I put it out there. The bull Rasheed Warren is related to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I mean, I don't know him like that. I just know family members around and what they were talking about at the time, that he wasn't the same even in sparring after that. He just wasn't the same wasn't the same boxer.
Damn.
Like Meldrick Taylor wasn't the same, you know what I'm saying, after Chavez. They just he was ruined after that. He was pulling punches, the things that he normally would do. They said he
Yeah.
wouldn't do.
Man, that's wild. What's going on, OG? Bruce Gas in the building.
Well, Combat Sports, my brother, what's happening? Blue
I'm
Hustleman,
good, man.
how are you cats today?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? How you and the
What's
wife,
up,
man?
OG? How you
What's
doing,
going
fam?
on?
Oh, nice kickback Sunday afternoon. I thought yesterday was it was an interesting day for boxing. Probably a lot more quantity over quality. And the Teo fight didn't pan out. It was more like they sold the sizzle and not the steak. But it was a long day for boxing, though. It was decent, and I'm thankful that I'm still around watching it, man.
Yeah, we just had some questions up here, OG. Trying to figure out some things that what's your assessment on Tio and Rolly? Do you think it was a genuine scrap where they actually tried to go in there and beat each other up? Did Rolly do enough? It didn't look like Rolly did enough to defend his title. So they say you have to take it from the champion. But it just seems like when he had Tio hurt, he didn't capitalize on it.
Well, I think Rolly's kind of limited as a fighter. He's living off that Ryan upset. He got the gift against Jackson Marinez a couple of years ago. The old man Barriosos, that shouldn't have been a stoppage. If anything, Rolly was the one who looked like he was going to get stopped in that fight. So he's just the kind of a guy. He's a character in boxing. Everybody likes Rolly because he's interesting to watch. He always seems to have a new gimmick every time he opens his mouth. And but I just don't think he's that good. And I think Tio, just the talent-wise, Tio just beat him on talent alone. Every time, Rolly had a couple of good moments in there, but he was getting counted every time he opened up. And then there was that friendship thing too. I don't know how deep that goes, but Rolly's on the spectrum. He's a little different than most people. So people love him because I think they just like the character, because boxing is full of characters. And Rolly just happens to be the latest.
I agree. I agree with that assessment. I do. He's a character for sure.
I didn't see Tio being as dangerous as Ryan Garcia. I just can't get that out. My thought process as to why he would be cautious against a Teofimo Lopez, but yet he was extremely defiant and stood right there in the pocket against Ryan Garcia, who's a more quicker striker. You know what I'm saying? More
because they
powerful
friends,
puncher.
WCS. That's why they had an unwritten rule. You know what I'm saying? They just put on a show in my opinion, for the public. You know what I'm saying? I think it's all a setup for. And here's my last opinion: is that I think it was all a setup for Tio and Ryan to get in the ring to fight, and they're gonna put the ring belt up as collateral for it being a mega fight for them two to fight to offset Devin Haney's if just in case Devin Haney somehow some way pick up the IBF.
Good. That's a good assessment. That'd be good if they can bring that division back together for a potential undisputed clash. But we'll see how that works, man. That seems so far. But if they able to do that, that'd be good.
Yeah, because they'll make the winner of that the Ring magazine and Lineal at the same. They'll do that all at one time. Guaranteed. This the same way they did with Boots. They made Boots the Lineal and Ring against a Stanionis, and he didn't beat nobody.
That's interesting because Boots was supposed to be the one who unified the welterweight division. What you think about what just said, Blue? About the Ryan Garcia situation, potentially with Tio.
I mean, I can see the play in it. I can see. I don't disagree. I can see the play in that. Most definitely.
Do y'all think it's what the fans want to see as far as do we need a day to spark Tio and Ryan Garcia? Is this the spark we need to see at 147?
I mean, no, it's just like I don't know. I see it. I don't see Tio beating Devin, and I think he might have issues with Ryan. I'm not saying that he can't beat him. I think he might have issues. You see what I'm saying? So
Well, the thing
I
is,
don't
boys,
know.
they're both holding belts in the same division. It just makes sense for them to fight. Unification's where it's at, especially now when belts are all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
All these things in. And I know Conor Ben's going to be a nice test for Rolly coming up. What's that? That's in like a couple of weeks, right?
What's
Who's
coming up
who?
in the
That's
next
That's
couple of
February.
that's
weeks?
fight. I think that fight's next week. Ain't
Yeah,
it? Next week.
the 12th. Two more weeks.
What? Which fight?
Conor Ben
The
and
Conor Ben Ryan.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That
Yeah.
I think that's going to be kind of on par as Rolly and Tio was last night. It's going to have the same fight feel. And we're all thinking that Ryan should get by him pretty easily. But then again, you never know in boxing, man, because Ryan's had days where he's let us down before, especially against Rolly. So the division is kind of wide open right now. And then you got the European cats that are looking to break into the American scene. Welterweight division is pretty hot right now, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think yeah, Ryan should beat Conor Ben in my opinion. I'm not sure if he had a tough weight cut from holding all that weight coming down to fight Ryan Garcia, but I will give Conor Ben, he is a dog. You can't take that away. I don't know how he's gonna fare going in there against a fighter like Ryan Garcia with the speed that he has and the power to counter. It should be a good fight, man. Who am I going for? I'm on. I don't know, man. I like Conor Ben. He's a talker. He really talks shit to his opponents. He really build up the fight. But so does Ryan Garcia. Who I believe gonna win? I get an edge to Ryan Garcia though.
They
Look,
they gonna give
put it
Conor
to you
Ben
like this.
that Cal Brook treatment when he fought Bud. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna give all the Mexicans gonna give Ryan that treatment. You know what I mean? I mean not the Mexicans, the British gonna give him that treatment. Talking about he had that hard weight cut. That's probably the reason why he lost. You know what I mean? Because he fought Chris Eubanks Jr.
Well, well, when I saw Kell Brook at the weigh-in for Terrence Crawford, he did look depleted. His eyes was red. He looked like, but Conor Ben chose this fight. Conor Ben chose to gain all that weight and then come back down to welterweight. He have to deal with it, man.
Well, I'm kind
There's no excuses. It's definitely no excuses now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking Conor Ben is more a welterweight. I think he was on the extra eggs, so they say, to put him up to the junior middleweight.
That's what it is, dude.
But he's a small guy.
Yeah.
The poached eggs for Wyoming, huh?
Yeah. He's being very scrutinized, Conor Ben. So they're checking his urine and making sure he's not doing any foreign enhancements. So I think naturally Conor Ben is a welterweight.
Hey, OG, you talking about they checking Conor's urine? They should be checking Ryan's urine too, together in the same room.
Oh, exactly, man, exactly. And
they
make
should
sure
be checking both of them at the same time. Shit.
You could have some hot urine in that contest. Both of these guys are coming off accusations.
I mean, which is worse? Which is worse, clomiphene or freaking Ostarine? Which is worse to get popped? Which gives you better enhancement?
Well, you gotta call upon all them experts, WCS, that you was saying that was out there, those Ostarine experts.
I mean, Bruce been around the game for a long time, so that's why I was asking, will he know something like that?
Well, one of them is actually made to cut weight and to keep lean mass, where the other one's made to put mass on. So they're different categories, different androgens.
Hey, shout out to Big Dog Willie. He said, "Salute W says Blue Hustle harassing the Tank Maniacs." So I'm assuming that he's taking a shot this way. I'm not a Tank Maniac. I'm not a Tank Maniac. I mean, it's just El Chin we're talking about.
You a part of them too. You see, that's
Appreciate
the reason why you would take a maniac. That's why you would take a maniac.
Salute to the two
What did you
piece.
say Tank's name was?
El Chin Checker. Hey, shout out to Big Dog Willie for the two piece, man. I mean, hey, we need Tank back in the boxing. Boxing misses him dearly, and El Chin Checker should be back on deck real soon.
Don't nobody truly miss Tank like that, man.
Hey, Blue, don't let a super
I,
chat get you all
hey,
hyped up, man. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
Blue. I disagree with you on that one, Blue. I think the Schofields are missing Tank something fierce. You know what I'm saying? They keep doing
Yeah, right.
these skits and whatnot. You know,
Man, real for real, right? AI every day almost. Damn,
they
at
want
a
that
certain
payday
point.
so bad. You know what I mean? They definitely want that
Man,
payday.
look, I hear you, but it still is what it is.
Hey, what did you Hey, Bruce, what you think about Yo-Yo Hernandez? You think he has potential as a Cuban fighter to do big things at middleweight?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Yo-Yo looked like Yo-Yo didn't look that good, man. He did all right. I mean, I'm not mad that he won the fight, but I'm just saying just room for improvement. What we can see in the future. I don't want to sit there and assess him like that and make it seem like he ain't nobody. He's a fighter that has confidence. You can see he has confidence, and come stronger in the latter end of the round. So the other dude looked like he was about to it looked like the other gentleman was going to win the fight, and then I thought he was about to just win the fight hands down, but then Yo came back. You know. So he was hitting him combinations. He was he was he was he was he I think he broke the dude's will in a way. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude was trying to demand respect. And he was doing what he was doing, but
You
also
saying he
he
broke
showed him like,
Francisco's will? He didn't break no Francisco will. That dude, man, I done seen him in some
nah,
wars in person.
look, what I'm saying was the dude didn't he ended up so I felt like Yo-Yo got stronger towards the end of the round, and I
Yeah.
felt like the other gentleman he burnt out. You see what I'm saying? So he discouraged him to the point where when he was doing his combinations, the dude was successful. He was successful to him. It didn't look like he had the power. You see what I'm saying? To keep doing what he was doing.
Hey, yo,
That's
salute
why
to
he was
y'all, man.
he
I
was
gotta get back
he
to
was
work,
breaking
man.
him
I'm gonna
down.
holler at y'all another
All
time.
right, Samar, appreciate
All
you,
right, brother.
bro.
All
Be
right.
blessed, bro.
You too.
Peace out, brother.
What you think, Bruce? What you think about
Well,
Hernandez?
I thought Hernandez came in with a lot of hype behind him, and I think he let a lot of people down because he seemed to
See?
go into a shell when Veron opened up because Veron wasn't afraid. I mean, this kid was from Argentina. He was
Mm-hmm.
loose out there. He was tying him up. He was throwing a lot of jabs. And I saw Hernandez instead of being. I mean, Hernandez is a knockout puncher. He had
Mm-hmm.
what is it? What was it like 12-0 with 11 knockouts? He was kind of like the Puerto Rican there. Like a knockout sensation. Who am I trying to think of, man? It's like once again I can see his face, but I can't say his name right now.
He's still fighting, or he old fighter?
Well, no, he's still fighting now, but he had all the first round knockouts.
Oh, you talking about Edgar Berlanga?
Berlanga, yeah. He came in with that same kind of a hype as Berlanga, but
Yeah.
when he started getting tagged, he went into a shell and he wasn't throwing those power punches. I mean, he won the fight hands down, but I don't think he impressed. I think this was supposed to be a fight where they were gonna showcase him. People were going to say, "Oh, Hernandez, the next middleweight champion," and he's already ranked #1 by the WBO or something like that, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that.
So he definitely he made a lot of fighters say, "Hey, man, I'm not afraid of this guy. I think I can go in there and do some business with this guy." So I don't think he did his career any good last night. I think he should have been more aggressive. I think he should have went more for putting some hurt on Veron, and he just has to wait for the next fight. He won this one. He's got to look much better in his next fight.
Yeah, good point. Another Cuban fighter. Nice size. They building him up. They got a lot of work still with this guy, but yeah, like you said, they might have underestimated Francisco Veron, who's been in some wars, and that Hernandez could have went in there and possibly stopped him. But I'm not gonna lie, Francisco surprised me that he was able to get right there in the pocket with Hernandez. I didn't think he'd go in there and at middleweight and put himself in harm's way like that. I didn't consider him to be the heavier puncher either, but his volume was giving Hernandez problems. His volume punches, man, pushing him up against the ropes. It's almost like Hernandez couldn't handle the pace at certain points in the fight.
Exactly. He was keeping Hernandez at the end of his jab. He was nailing with right hands. It was just a all around. I think it was a surprise for Hernandez. I don't think he was ready for that type of fight. He's been Tyrell Gashon was a pretty good opponent, but aside from that, he's had a lot of cakewalks, a lot of early knockouts like Berlanga.
Yeah, it's gonna get interesting. The middleweight division is kind of like a ghost town for a minute. You have Arizlan Laura, he's like 42. You don't hear too much. He did look good against Danny Garcia, but that's Danny Garcia. I don't know who's gonna spark up the middleweight division. At one point in time, it was lit, but the Triple G's have left the building. Sergey Deryanchenko's has left the building.
Exactly.
Mauro Charlos have left the building. Tony Harris, all that man just gone. Shit.
When you're talking like Tim Tszyu is one of the top middleweights in the world, it doesn't say about the division.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey.
It's going to be
how that work out.
It's going to be a nice little fight coming up. One fighter's on their way up and the other fighter's on their way down, but they're still pretty relative right now. Austin Williams and Vito Melenicki.
Yeah, man. Vito, man, he was another fighter who they was raising up. Like I interviewed him when he was still in high school in Vegas, and a good guy. He had his points where they was trying to move him, but OG, I couldn't understand why he picked up so much weight so early. He might have had a growth spurt since he was so young. To the point, it just seems like he was in the weight room. And he started picking up this muscle weight, and I'll say, who is his strength and conditioning coach? Because he's just growing, and before you know it, he's going to be the smaller man in the division. But Vito Melenicki is ranked as high as I've seen him in the middleweight division right now. Austin Williams, we already know about him. If he can keep his head locked in, straight, that'll be a good fight between him and Vito. Who you got winning that fight?
I got Vito winning the fight.
Oh, dang.
Like you said,
why?
I think Vito's trending up and Austin Williams is starting to trend down. And I think this is a good opportunity for Vito to make a statement. And I think he'll probably get a middleweight title shot after this fight if he comes out successful. That's how sparse the talent is at 160 right now.
You don't think the experience for Austin Williams would do him some justice?
Hey, that's why
he came up short.
That's why they do it in the ring, World Combat Sports. Anything's liable to happen. And Williams is a veteran. He never had a belt before, did he?
I'm not from I know. I know he was trying to contend for a belt.
Yeah, he fought Carlos Adames, but he got beat pretty handedly in his last time out.
The fight that put him they was building Austin up too until Hamzat Shiraz just he stopped him in 11 rounds. He took a lot of punishment in that fight against Shiraz too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
So maybe Melenicki might be catching him at the right time. And Melenicki's he's got a smart team behind him too. I mean, he's a well, he's a well-connected fighter. So
yeah, his dad. I met his dad. His dad is no joke, boy. Not a person you want to deal with over some bullshit.
You make you a deal, you make you an offer you can't refuse.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Make an offer you can't refuse, for real. You ain't lying about that. That's a good point. Austin Williams, Vito Melenicki. I like Vito, man. He's still trying to make it up the ranks, to get that title shot, man.
And this is in his backyard too, at the Prudential Center.
Oh yeah. So he definitely should go in there and show out. I'm going for Vito myself, man. Even though he got one loss, man, he's still been, climbing the ladder. I have full confidence his team is doing what is best for him. You know,
You
they're
know,
a different type of
Who
family,
are you
bro.
talking
That's
about
all I
right now?
gotta
You
say.
said Tio?
No,
no, Vito,
Vito Melnicki.
Oh, okay.
because the middleweight division is so sparse of talent right now. Anybody who makes an impact there is going to shine. Is going to get a better fight. You know, there's really nobody at 160, man. We're talking about the division of Marvin Hagler, you know, of Sugar Ray
Yeah.
Leonard, and
Yeah.
it's barren out there right now.
It is. It is. They even got a vacant title at the middleweight division, man. Like, come on now. Yeah, it's gonna take something. I mean, that's a good upcoming fight, man. How do you see the fight?
I want look.
Go
I
ahead.
gotta say this, man. Now, you know, a lot of people say that Tank's, you know, resume has aged well, right? Was aging well, right? But you have to give it up to Shakur right now. It's clear as day that his resume is aging well, because you got to look at it like this. He just fought two fighters that he just beat. Both came back and got titles, one belt. Think about that.
Oh yeah, Shakur's almost unbeatable. I would like to
You
see
see
a
what I'm
little
saying?
defense with him, but you can't hit Shakur. Shakur is just so
Yeah.
so. You know, when he was 12 years old, the kids were going out to play tag and to play army. Shakur went to the gym to play boxing. He's a student of the game. I mean, he's just he's like a Wilfred Benitez, but I just wish he'd come back with a little more power, because I think he's a little bit chin shy. He's been tagged and he doesn't like to get tagged. I've heard that from his own mouth, and that's just not a good look for fighters. You know, you gotta get in the pocket. I think he could survive that too, because when he fought the lightweight, when he won the title,
Zepeda?
yeah, Zepeda, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Zepeda. Zepeda couldn't really do anything with him, and he got down in the pocket with Zepeda. He wasn't backing off at all. So, you know, Shakur, I would just like to see him get a little more courage, a little more pop on his punches, get inside and knock a few people out.
Mm-hmm. And Bruce, you got to look at it like this too. Look how the fashion that these fighters that he dominated, right? Look how they came back and pretty much dominated their opponents when their opponents was actually supposed to win.
Yeah.
Think about it. Rolly was supposed to win that fight.
Nobody's gonna
And
Theo.
Lamont was supposed to win that fight against Rose. I mean, against Zepeda. That's what a lot of people were saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fashion.
He's going to get so good that nobody's going to want to fight him. You know, I really think he's got to start opening up and make people want to come at him. He's the boogeyman right now.
Yeah, clearly, that you got to think about it. You got to think about it, man. When it comes down to it, it makes me want to just, you know, be kind of facetious and be, you know, talk crap. But I'm just gonna say it like this: there's a reason why Tank says, you know, well, what has he done? You don't want to fight him. Huh? Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? What?
Hey, what did you say, Blue? I had to step away. You said Shakur's resume is aging well because of what?
Shakur, no, his resume is aging well, because look how the fighters that he beat came back and won titles. You see what I'm saying? Quickly.
Oh, like a
They
Ryan
won titles
Garcia?
quickly.
Like a Ryan Garcia, I
Yeah.
know. Like a Ryan
No,
Garcia.
I ain't talking about
came
Ryan
back and
Garcia. I'm
won
talking
time.
about Zepeda.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about Zepeda, and I'm talking about Tio.
Rolly Romero.
Shakur went in there and beat the
yeah.
break dust off these men.
Rolly Romero, Mario Barrios, yeah, came back and won title. Okay. Listen, go on and on. You talking about agent?
Nah, man, you can't do that though, bro. It's clear as day.
You said agent well. You talking about Zepeda?
Oh yeah, Zepeda lost, and then he came back and dominated a fighter that went to a draw with your boy El Chick.
Ryan Garcia lost and came back and dominated Mario Barrios.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia
who was
also
in the
lost
ring with Tank Davis
to Rolly and got dominated by Rolly. Got dominated by Rolly. What you got to say about that?
Let me ask you this important question. Is Ryan Garcia a champion right now?
Unfortunately, yes, he is.
All I need is a yes and a no, sir. You gave me what I'm looking for. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, I gave you a little extra content with that.
Hey, we both check the box in a weird, strange type of way.
Yeah, but you got to tell your fighter to fight people. Why ain't Ryan Garcia fighting people? Why is he cherry picking right now?
He's a diva.
Ryan is
I'll
ain't
wait.
my boy.
I'll wait.
Ryan ain't my boy.
I'll wait. I'm waiting for you to answer it.
What was your question? I thought you was just saying something, making a statement.
Nah. You heard me.
No, I didn't. What you say? Say it again.
I said, what's up with your boy, man? Ryan Garcia cherry picking, man. He ain't even trying to fight nobody. What's up with that?
So Ryan's my boy after I criticized the shit out of him for what he did versus Devin Haney. And how he's the golden child of boxing, how he come back off suspension and get a main event with a championship and attached to it. That's my boy. That ain't my boy.
That's boxing though, man.
Yeah, that's boxing right there. That's people that's higher than everybody.
Well, you brought him up.
Here.
That's the reason why I said that. You brought him up, so I thought that was your boy. My bad.
I brought him up. What scenario though? I brought him up.
I'm just saying, you brought him up. I thought it was your boy, so I had to, put that out there.
Look, I brought him up, Blue, because you was talking about how Shakur's opponents has aged, how his resume has aged. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
Well, Tank beat Ryan Garcia. He came back and won a title.
How long did it take? Hold on. I see what you're saying.
Hey, hold on, Blue. He came back and won a title from a common opponent of Tank Davis.
Okay, well, hold on. How long did it take take Ryan to get a belt after he lost to Tank? How long did it take him?
Respectfully, we got the OG on it. We can do this. We can do this when it's just me and you because I'm really not trying to catch a body. I'm not trying to catch a body on here.
Don't backpedal.
Don't catch a body. You about to become a casualty of war. You about to become a casualty of war.
Let that be my own.
Become a casualty of war with that.
Hey, look, I'm okay with that. Listen, I'm okay with that. I asked you a question.
We'll get to
so
it.
How long did it take for Ryan?
Because what you're doing is you're trying to distract.
He lost the Tank.
You're trying to distract the listeners and change lanes and talk about now how long did it take? Because I like your point about what you made about Ryan Garcia. Now, how long did it take? I could give a damn how long it take. We're talking about him just picking up a title, bro. He won a title. Just like William Cepeda. William Cepeda fought Shakur and came back and won a title, right? I didn't ask you how long it took Cepeda to win a title.
Hey, it was quick though. It didn't take as long. Hold on, watch out. It was quick though. It was quick, and you know that turnaround when he lost. That was quick, but when you think about it, with Ryan Garcia,
who he fought? Who's
the best?
Yeah, who he lost to win a title?
He fought Lamont Roach.
He fought Lamont Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Did he win?
I don't know. You tell me, because I know you clearly know.
Did he win?
You know the
answer to that. Beat Lamont Roach, right?
You ain't gonna do that. No, you answer the question.
So what I'm trying to look, what I'm trying to tell you is, if he beat Lamont Roach, if you trying to change lanes on me, I'm gonna run you over in traffic because Lamont Roach wasn't a title holder when it
don't matter. If he would have won, he would have been. He would have.
Mario Barrios was already a champion at the division when Ryan Garcia beat him. Mario Barrios was already champion in 147. Lamont Roach was just a guy who's known to go to a draw with Tank at 135. He was a 130-pound champion, but he wasn't a champion at 135, was he? I'm just saying it's out there. Like,
yeah,
Ryan Garcia.
That's why I was asking.
Ryan Garcia defeated a former champion.
Yeah, but look how long it took him to even get after he lost.
No,
when he took that loss to Tank.
He defeated a former champion at 140 who fought Tank, and then he came up to 147.
One of the weakest champions there was.
No, you can't say that about Barrios, bro. Come on, man.
Yes,
he wasn't no weaker than Stanthionis, bro. Stop it.
Nah, he was weak, man. Bro. He was weak, man. You know he was weak.
Barrios was not weaker than Stantionis. Was he? He wasn't weaker than Stantionis.
Yeah, that's debatable right there.
So you think what? You think Stantionis, who stands 4'3.5" is better than Mario Barrios? El Azteca? No, it ain't no way possible, bro. It ain't no way possible. But anyway, we shall continue this conversation at another time, for real.
All right, buddy.
No doubt. Hey, appreciate you, Bruce, for pulling up. I got to bounce.
Hey, man,
All
thank
right,
you
yo.
so much.
Hey,
Blue,
shout out to the OG, Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more pulling up. Shout out to Blue Hustle, man. You know what I'm saying? We always then talking boxing. Appreciate you pulling up, fam.
Hey, you already know.
And shout out to Blue Hustles, you know, those instigators that pulled up and talking about tankomaniacs. It's El Chin Checker to you, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Take it, man.
And shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, man. Another time, another place.
Most
We'll do it.
definitely.
I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, peace.